Okay, hello folks. So I've been watching your videos and I think they're awesome. This last week, talked about mental and social transitioning, and I felt like a specific aspect of the mental transitioning got cheated a little bit, so I'm just going to add in my own commentary. I would add it to the playlist in general, but that's not possible, so I guess after I make this video I'll just go through and find somebody's and add it to that. So, anyway, enough rambling. Maybe what I'm going to talk about isn't experience others have had. I kind of doubt that, or maybe it's just too personal and they don't want to talk about it. But I know a huge part of my mental transition involved getting rid of a mask that had really been just like grafted onto my face, my personality. I mean, for like 17 years I tried to be a girl. Simultaneously I was trying really hard to be myself. Like everybody always says, oh, be yourself, that be the best you can be yourself. Don't put on an act, stuff like that, I don't know. But the key word there is try. I was trying to be myself, and I don't think you can actually do that. I think you have to just be yourself. I don't know, because that mask became so ingrained into who and what I was. I mean, it was all I knew for 18 plus years. So when I started transitioning, I really did kind of hyper-masculinize myself. Like, I tried to walk differently, I tried not to swing my hips so much, which actually had the opposite effect, ironically. But, I know I tried to lower my voice, which I have managed to do a little bit, even without tea. Huzzah. I wore very different types of clothing. I used to wear really tight shirts, tight pants, because that's what everybody else wore. I just kind of wore it too, but I find looser, baggier clothes a lot just more comfortable, and I like plaid, so I do that more just because I want to than because of any hyper-masculinizing thing. So getting back on topic, I would sit differently. I used to wear skirts a lot, like for school, so I would, I learned how to sit with my legs close together. For rather obvious reasons, but I started sitting with my legs kind of more open, or just like crossed wide open instead of hooking one knee over the other, and you know. There's arm movements that I would change intentionally. I have no idea what they were. I just have some vague memory of trying to move with my arms around differently. And there was a lot of stuff. A good chunk of that was an act that I put on to try and fit in more, and it sort of worked, I guess, but it was still an act. It was a necessary act, but it wasn't me. It still wasn't me. So yeah, I don't know, kind of going in the opposite direction. When I would go home or talk on the phone to my family, I would intentionally act more girly, more like I had before I started transitioning and going to college and stuff. Because going to college is exactly when I started transitioning. I didn't tell my parents before I left for school, and I told them right about when I got to school, which is a really bad idea, by the way. I strongly suggest you don't do that. But yeah, now I'm just me. I don't act too much. I just kind of do what comes naturally to me most of the time, especially if I'm around people I'm comfortable with, friends I've known for a while, stuff like that, which is true of pretty much everyone, I think. I mean, I only put on an act if I'm talking to people I don't know, or meeting new people, or I'm not very comfortable with somebody yet, or like I'm joking around or trying to be professional. I mean professional. Anyway, I don't know, but mostly I don't act anymore, and it's really, really brilliant. It's just, I cannot describe in words how good it feels to not be acting anymore, to not feel like I'm constantly fake and not understanding why. It's really just a beautiful thing to not be putting on a face, to not have that constant knowledge that I'm acting and not understanding in what way I'm acting. It's really great. I don't know, but the road to getting there, to getting to the point where I could simply not act, to where I could just be me, that was a really tough road, actually. That was really tough. Between the hyper-masculinizing of myself and the going back to being more feminine to talk to my parents and other family members, to try and make them more comfortable more than anything. I really, due to that and a whole lot of other factors, there were really a lot of other factors, I convinced myself for several months that I had multiple personalities. I don't, but I convinced myself I did. And it took a lot to get over that idea, because it was a very attractive idea. It gave me an explanation for everything, but it was a lie. So, anyway, that was just something tough that I don't expect other people to have necessarily gone through, but that was part of my mental transition. Anyway, but yeah, I'm very much at ease with myself now, and it's really great. I don't know, I'm saying that a lot. I'm rambling. To kind of wrap up, it was a huge mental shift for me. I think for a lot of people, getting from whatever act they put on, if they put on an act, I know some people haven't, but getting from that act to who they really are is a very difficult thing. And it takes a good deal of effort to get rid of that act, to get rid of the mask, so to speak. It's also something that's not necessarily unique to the trans community. I mean, everybody acts, some people all the time in front of everybody, including people they would consider close friends, just because that's who they feel like being or something, I don't know. People put on professional acts, I talked about that, and so on and so forth, but that's not really the point of this video. Anyway, I hope I didn't ramble too much. I really enjoy watching GenderBlenders videos. I hope if anybody actually does watch this, that you leave a couple comments and maybe take a look at my other videos, and I apologize that those all have bad hair and are in multiple parts, because apparently 15 minutes is not acceptable for one video on YouTube. So, anyway, yeah, thank you. Have a good day, folks.